Flyover State of Film was shot in front of a live studio audience.
Welcome to Flyover State of Film. It's me today, Joe, with my beautiful co-hosts, TJ, Brian, Yusuf. How the hell are you guys doing today? Raise your drinks. We have a fun show in store.
Hey.
I'm just drinking some water, guys. I'm being real soft today.
Honestly, I have so much beer left over from this past weekend that I'm like, well, I guess I should get through one or two of them.
I did have a beer. A buddy of mine brought over a 6-pack of that. I forget the name of it, but it's the beer that Quint drinks. He was in a
Narragansett.
Yeah, he was in a fucking gas station,
Cloudy
and they
with
had
a-
their whole
with a
like
chance of
stand was like a picture of Quint. It was like "Crush it like Quint."
Oh,
Buy
that's
some-
that.
And he was like, "I have to buy this now because of
Yeah.
that." And so we drank some, and it was fine. It's just beer.
I would try to buy a display.
Let me drink Schlitz.
They do. It's very Schlitz-ish. I
Yeah.
think. I think my buddy compared it to like a Yingling. It's right in that vein, you know.
Cool beans.
Cool.
And
So,
anything else
anything
happening in your life?
All right, man. I'm working to anything happen in anyone's life this
Get
weekend.
there, man. Get there.
TJ, what about you? You have any fun this weekend?
Oh yeah, I had a lot of fun this weekend. Chicago's fucking insane. Weather was crazy. I did mini golf. I came in third. Kind of
How you
sucked.
suck.
third out of how many?
4.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bird.
Come
Come
Just
on.
the bronze.
Brutal.
Rough.
All right,
Uh,
Yusuf. Yeah, we
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, all right. So, Brian, what did you get yourself into?
Well, historically, it takes me a long time to accomplish anything. So over the course of many months and weeks, I've been
Like
working.
Your mustache included.
Right, absolutely. That's why the mask thing has been a blessing for me. I've been working on converting one of my spare bedrooms. That's right, spare bedrooms,
Ooh,
guys.
You don't have to
Saying.
throw your money in my face.
And into like a little media room. I converted the closet into a big DVD case, and then I painted the walls and hanging stuff up and getting some carpet in there or whatever. But like my mind, once it's finished, is thinking about what's the perfect movie to like christen the new room. When you buy a new piece of media equipment, or if you have a new, like I said, something like this, a little haven. I refuse to call it a man cave. Anybody who calls it a man cave is going to get my foot up their man cave. You know what I'm saying?
Dog, the man. Are you using are you using a projector or a larger
No, I'm
TV?
gonna get it's a pretty small. It's just like a bedroom-sized room. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And it's gonna be set up with like TV on the wall and then a couple of recliners. So you're not gonna be very far. So I think like a 75-inch or something
cheap.
is gonna be more
Mr.
than enough.
Money bag.
I
They're
love
cheap
it.
now. No, I saw.
No, they're
I
cheap.
saw-
A small
70-inch
iPhone 75 inch
I
on the wall.
I saw a 70-inch TV the other day at Walmart. I think it was like $500, and I thought,
Yeah.
do I just buy it? I don't
Yeah.
need it, but like,
It's like it seems dumb not to just get it. I guess it's the value is so good.
anyway. So, but you doing that transpose us to ask, I think, a really fun question this week.
Yeah.
Um,
Ask it.
which is, Well, Brian, you could
No,
go with
no. I
it.
mean, like I said, I think I said it right. What is the thing you watch first? What do you
Yeah.
pick an old favorite? Do you pick a specific like emotion you want to evoke in that new space, or do you just watch like the most technically specific, like CGI blowout, sound edited, whatever? How do you choose? What do you pick? So I guess that was my question. Yusuf has his hand raised.
Yeah.
I
you should
can't
go.
tell if he's trying to catch a dog fart or what.
Oh, I don't have to raise my hand to catch his fucking farts.
Just your dick.
So I drew from experience. When I bought my TV, like fucking, I think 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I also bought a sound system and all that fun stuff, and I wanted to christen it. And I bought the new Mad Max Fury Road fucking Blu-ray.
Nice.
And I put it as loud as I could because that movie has some crazy visuals and a fucking banger of a score. And it's also super loud and fast paced and full of action. And it was a fucking blast. Like it's literally the like one of the few memories I have from that shitty old apartment that I used to live in was like that great TV and that great sound system just
And you're sitting
banging
nice
on
and
the
close.
shitty doors, yeah, on the
Yep.
shitty walls. And another one is, well, I'll leave it for the second round. Honorable
Yeah.
mention. How about you guys? What would you christen your, if you had the luxury of having a spare room to turn
Hey,
into
let's get
a
it. Don't get
media?
it twisted. I'm basically doing this so I have an excuse that I can't ever have anybody stay with me. Sorry, I don't have a bedroom.
It's a jerk off.
You're not gonna put a futon in there?
No,
I got an air mattress and a little bit
Yeah.
of floor. That's about the best I can do for you. I just can't believe I have a friend, and he has a really nice house, but like part of the reason he got was like specifically to have a room for his parents to come up and stay at. And I'm just like, but that room just sits unused all the rest of the time. Like you just
That's the-
have this room, and only reason it
Yeah.
exists is
Room
for
I
people. No, this is my house. I'm making use of my space. Hell with
The
that.
room-
Like,
The room I record in is literally my old living room, or like our stuff from our first apartment or our living room, because I'm like, yeah, if someone wants to come over, they can sleep on that couch in there. But it's where I want to hang out. I remember when I was
Yeah.
moving in, an uncle being like, "You sure you don't want that extra bed I have?" I'm like, "No, I don't need 2 bedrooms. I need 2 rooms."
yeah.
Yeah, TJ, what do you got?
I would say, like, when I moved in here, the one thing I splurged on was get myself a nice, like, Vizio, like, 60-inch fucking, what the fuck they call it? The OLED, whatever it is, screens and shit like that.
In
So
my
I did
living room
that.
right now is a Vizio, and I hate to even say this because you're jinx yourself, but like I bought the thing like 6 or 7 years ago when I had never even heard of Vizio before, and it was like the cheap brand, and now
Yeah,
it's
now it's
still
not the
kicking and
it's
doing
not the cheap
fine, and my
brand
TV's
anymore.
in good shape, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's like hell yeah,
It's
like
not
the
the
first time I
cheap
got
brand
to.
anymore, for the record.
Oh yeah, first time I had to hang the TV up on a wall, like so. I like did the whole
Nice.
like Halloween lights around and did that. So like I was thinking like a single movie. But, I mean, these last couple nights, I do this at least like once every few months. The Lord of the Rings trilogy. It's the
Yeah.
easiest thing for me to do. If you have a full day, I mean, you sit down on that couch, you get the greatest snacks. And I know Joe's going to sleep right now, but for us, the
Hey,
smart
you know
guys,
what's great about Lord of the Rings is you can take a little nap. You wake up, you come back to it, it's fine. You didn't
yeah,
miss much.
maybe you missed
bread.
yeah, maybe you missed the fight in the cave between Frodo and
Sure,
Sam and
yeah.
this
You'll pick
motherfucker,
up,
but you
but
catch
you know
up.
what? You'll get it. It's something for you to
Check
see next
out-
time.
God damn it, Gollum.
Check out
Should've-
Flyover State of Film, episode 32,
Yeah.
Lord of the Drink.
Was it 32? Was it
I
that
don't
far
know.
into the
Yeah.
run?
I
just
want to
told
say
you
that's
something.
like top 10, top 5 thumbnails.
Oh, the thumbnail is so good. It's worth watching the video for that alone.
And I'll save my other
Uh,
ones for the second
No,
round.
but that's
Alright.
that's a fucking tastic pick because it
Yeah.
also have like
It is a good
a lot
pick.
of epic music.
The music is incredible.
and sound
Shots.
design.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
I think when
Yeah,
I was
you don't want to fucking watch Moonlight. No disrespect, Moonlight, right? But is
No,
it like you want to
Or
watch
like
like
a
an epic?
comedy. Like there's
Yeah.
no sense that like you don't get any more out of a comedy by watching it on like a
Yeah.
theatrical experience.
isn't-
Like
this isn't watch your favorite movie question.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
unless your favorite movie is Aliens. What?
so
Which
I-
I'm. Keep going.
Yeah,
Joe,
is
what
that
do you
your
got
pick,
for us,
Brian?
No, I love Aliens, but that's not.
No,
it's
the
too obvious.
first thing
Come on.
that came to my mind, and it's actually just because I've used it to test every like time I've set up a new TV or sound system, which I really enjoy setting up surround sound or helping people buy TVs or this and that. You know, I'm like mad if someone doesn't come to me to help them pick out a TV. I think one of the best Blu-rays I own visually and sound is The Dark Knight, and it's more of that first like 15-minute Joker scene is how I could test if that sounds good, because it starts really slow and I know it was shot with the IMAX camera, so it visually looks crisper than some of the other shots in that movie. And that's my go-to test.
Yeah, that one and when he's in Tokyo, those two scenes are so funny.
And I think any aerial shot in that movie too. But either way, it's like that noise, and if the surround sound's done right, you could really hear that slow, like before Christopher Nolan fucked up all of his sound mixing for his movies. Either way, that's my pick, Dark Knight. And I
feel like The Dark Knight's like one of those movies that, same thing with Lord of the Rings, like it's one of those ones you kind of have to do the trilogy. As much as I don't like the fucking third one, you have to do the fucking trilogy at that point, because okay, Brian, I don't know if you're like this, but like Yusuf too, I know you're in the midst of doing your thing, but like when I get done like settling into a place, it could be like 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna wait until the next day if I have off, and then I'll do like a whole like day of movies. That's when you can do Lord of the Rings and stuff like that, and the Dark Knight fucking trilogy and stuff like that. But like, I don't know, something like it has to be an event. Like it's
you're absolutely right. I have two more picks that I'm gonna save, like you kind of like honorable mentions.
We'll do a quickie honorable mention.
But you're right, TJ, though, there's like an event you want to do that. I mean, a dream of mine is to one day hopefully have a room I could be like, this is a little movie theater.
Yeah, let me say.
Every time, like that was the best. Sorry, TJ, that was the best part of MTV Cribs. Whenever that fucking asshole just opened the door and it's a fucking movie theater and it's like,
I went to
guys, I am 100% working towards the white trash version of that. I can't wait to show you. It's gonna be so great.
A couple years ago, for somewhere in PA, was at a New Year's party that had one of those. It was like the girl's father had to be like a mob boss or some shit. Everyone was freaking out. Every
Jersey house has those, Joe. It's crazy.
Everyone was freaking out over this like bar that was set up. I mean, it felt like a real bar. But I was like, you guys, there's a fucking like real movie theater with like lit up seats and recliners. Like the bar, like any of you assholes could build that. This is like, and I remember I stayed up till like 7 a.m. and like put on Bad Boys 2 because it was on Netflix and I was hammered, or like rented Star Wars. I don't really remember.
That's a good one to christen a thing with.
I know. You know what? I rented The Empire Strikes Back off their iTunes and Venmo'd her the $20 it cost. I was just really drunk. And, I had a good time. But no. Anyway.
This podcast, drink responsibly, and if you're overage. Brian.
Brian, what is your what did you christen with it, or are you going to?
I haven't 100% landed, but I was like, I really have to, because of course, I put up some little shelves. I got my Infinity Gauntlet and my Hulk hand. I was like, I think I got to do the two for Infinity War Endgame. I feel like that's great. That's a nice big epic, similar to the vein of what you're talking about there.
Yeah.
And man, I really love Infinity War. Endgame is fine.
But
if you're gonna watch them, you have to do the entire marathon of the 22 movies.
Hell no, I don't think I'll ever do that again.
Yeah, and tweet about it as well. Okay?
Follow this TikTok thread of me watching all the Marvel movies.
Again, if you do it every year, it's literally all you do. It's like, well, I'm just rotating again.
It's so many weeks.
No, but I say even for looking sound wise, I think that's actually a great twofer to go. Is Infinity War and Endgame is just like you get enough in Infinity War and Endgame where you don't have to ever go back, because it kind of goes back itself, like back and forth, and also you go back in time in Endgame.
It reminds you enough about like Guardians and the Thor 2. You're like, I don't even need to watch those now.
Yeah, it kind of hits it. Yeah, it actually kind of saves you from going back and watching all those fucking movies.
Yeah, sure.
And does anyone have any honorable mentions? I'm just going to name my two real quick. It was Jurassic Park
That was
and Prometheus.
Yeah, baby.
Nice.
Prometheus is a really good one.
Yeah.
Just the opening credits.
That's what I think of.
The opening credits are incredible.
Yeah.
I can see
The
somebody
fucking
picking a movie like
engineers.
Arrival for a similarly.
Dude, we don't agree on many things in this podcast, but we're a pro Prometheus podcast.
Oh,
Hell yeah, we are.
100%.
As much
Everybody
as we love the Child's Play friend, if there's two things you know about Flyover, we love Child's Play and we stand for Prometheus.
Yeah. I was gonna do the which isn't a movie you go for like looks, because no matter if you get it on like Blu-ray, HD, anything, or 4K, whatever, it's still grainy. Jaws is a great one to start off with. That's just my go-to always. And then T2. I think T2 has one of those just like big, loud. You can do the combo if you want to do it, but like there's a definitive difference in the way both those look. So T2 is just a little bit cleaner, and just the music with the action is just on a fucking giant
Spielberg and
TV.
Cameron coming out hot in our podcast.
My two were Kill Bill Volume 1.
Ooh, that's a great one.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
And it's a blast. And also, I know this is a bitch answer because it's my favorite movie of all time, but Back to the Future, the score,
that's a good one.
Sound design, come on.
That
We're all name dropping favorites. I already said Aliens, and you already hit up my other honorable mention, which would have been Mad Max Fury Road. What an incredible looking movie! Holy shit,
beautiful,
it's so fucking good.
So TJ, you had a brilliant idea, completely original, from your brain matter. What was that?
So like I was just thinking the other day, it just kind of popped in my head. I was like, man, if you ever came face to face with like a famous movie slasher of, your choosing, it doesn't have to be the top 5 or whatever, but whatever's clever, Trevor. If you could beat them, and how would you do it? Guys, I'm not going to go first, because I kind of feel like I want to see everyone's picks first before I go, because I feel like we're all on the same page here. So Brian, I'm gonna let you go first.
Okay, let me get in on this one, because like at first when I heard this question, I was like, oh, well, that's tough. And then I thought of my answer, and I was like, oh my god, it's so simple, and I don't have to do anything that I'm not already doing. My serial killer, my horror slasher icon is Jigsaw, and all I have to do is not be a piece of shit. Like, just keep living my life, being in like not getting in anybody's business and not getting anybody's hair, and not being a shitty drug addict or accidentally killing somebody with my negligence or whatever, and I'll be good to go.
I feel like that's a cheat. That's a cheat.
Well, I'm gonna piggyback on his cheat, because I actually have 3 sheets, and that is Candyman. I'll never fucking say Candyman 3 times in the mirror. Boom.
Done.
Roasted.
This is when you come face to face with these guys. This isn't avoiding them. It's gonna be
Jaws.
like you're
Okay.
going
face to face with Jigsaw, it wouldn't matter, because he'd be like, hey, thank you for being competent at your job, and I'd be like, no problem, sir, have a nice day.
You know how it'll be fucking Jaws? I won't go in the fucking water then. Boom.
Jaws is a horror movie, damn it.
It's a horror movie.
Slasher.
No, that's like a thriller, action thriller, maybe.
It's a horror. If you Google horror,
You guys are
like an adventure movie, especially like think about that John Williams music.
And I got
stuff like
and
no,
I
like
got
Frank.
a third one.
You're
And I got a
in
third
the
one for you.
situation.
I got a third one for you. Pinhead, I suck at puzzles. I'm never gonna fucking open that box. Boom, roasted again. 3 down. What else do you got?
Jeepers
All right.
Creepers.
Leprechaun.
I'm never gonna steal his gold.
Leprechaun loves weed. I learned that from Leprechaun in the
Yeah.
Hood. So
Poison
you can
pen.
just smoke weed with Leprechaun. Done.
Did
Right,
you?
I don't know why you-
Did I? What is happening here? You guys are cheating. This is bullshit, Joe. Please tell me you got something real.
No, my real pick was Leprechaun, because I just feel like I could beat him. No, but like I'm in this situation, TJ. I'm in Leprechaun 1. I'm with Jennifer Aniston. I feel like I'm just like not gonna be duped by.
Were you the one that
Wes.
consulted on
He's
like
so much more
changing their
powerful
nose?
than Jason or Michael
Yeah, I was gonna
Myers.
say, he's all magic and shit. Same thing with Freddy. Yes, like I would say Michael Myers is probably, because he's really just a dude under there when it comes right down to it.
All right, I've always had this plan, and I'm just
I
gonna say
think
it now.
Freddy's gonna be the hardest one.
No, this is how I've done
because you gotta
this.
sleep, bro. Well, he's always He just pulls them out and they kill him.
Well, and also like you get powers, you get dream powers, and once you know that, you can light him up.
I already have dream powers.
I can be beautiful and bad.
All right, the easiest question is it's the easiest answer is this is Chucky. I mean, I love him, my favorite thing. So basically, what I'm going to do is me and him are going to be staring each other face to face. We're staring at each other, and I'm going to rush him, and I'm going to put a knee right in the top of his big old dome, right, and I'm going to pin him to the ground. Then I'm going to dismember him one by one: leg, arm, head, torso. Put him in a bag separately. Then I'm flying to Hawaii. I don't know what the restrictions are right now. I'm gonna fly to Hawaii.
Well, technically that's the U.S., so there's no restriction.
No, I'll figure it out. Yeah.
Are you taking the Chucky corpse to Hawaii, or are you just leaving the corpse and going?
Oh no! I'm bringing the corpse with me in different bags. Each thing's split up between 6 different bags, and then I'm
gonna go to each of the islands.
Whatever one has the most active volcano. What I'm doing is I'm dropping the body parts days apart into that volcano, starting with the head, then the torso, and the arms, legs, and
The hardest part about that is that I bet Chucky would be running his fucking mouth the whole time. Hey, let me out of here, you fucking, and he'd be like, "Shut up."
I've been thinking about this.
It'd be just like Curse, or I'm sorry, in Cult of Chucky.
Yeah,
his head in a fucking safe.
I'll fucking make it work. I'm not sleeping. I'm gonna keep him all in a fucking trunk, and I've been thinking about this since I'm 6 years old. So that's my plan.
Pretty good. Hey, I just like that your plan wasn't like, oh, he's a doll, I'll kick him, because that's bullshit. We all know Chucky has voodoo strength. He's got like the proportional strength of a man and leverage and shit.
That's why I'm gonna knee him in his big old dome and pin him
Oh hell
down.
yeah! Like you can definitely take. I'm not saying you can't take Chucky down. I'm just saying it's not as easy as like. Oh,
I'm really strong, Brian.
I liked your plan, TJ. It was a compliment, son of a bitch.
It's not a bad plan.
Okay, fine. I'll still take Jigsaw, and that dude's a cancer patient. I'll just push him down a flight of stairs or something.
I'm just gonna give you guys each a murderer, and you gotta tell me how you're gonna kill him. All right, Brian, get Jason.
I guess you know what? I'll go Jason Goes to Hell style. We'll just blow him up. Him up. That's the only way to really stop him. You got to like basically vaporize him.
My favorite thing about these is because once you beat these guys, they move on to the next set of teenagers. So like once you get away once, you're good.
Yeah, exactly. Once you're the survivor, they let you go. I mean, well, a couple times they come back, but for the most part, Jason, he gives up. He's too dumb. He just gives up on you.
Joe, you're getting pumpkin.
I thought you would have boxed them like in Jason Goes to Manhattan.
Oh yeah, that's what I was trying.
Pumpkinhead?
Yeah, Joe's got Pumpkinhead.
Easy. I just don't kill a little kid.
Well, also Pumpkinhead, and this kind of goes for Hellraiser
the same
too.
as cheating as I did.
I know.
How do I about this goes for Hellraiser too? You can sick Pumpkinhead on someone else. You know what I mean? You can bargain with Pumpkinhead.
Yeah,
bargain
just
with
watch
Pinhead
this.
and like trick him and sick him on someone else and make him someone else's problem.
Yeah, I
like
think it follows. Try not to be the worst person in the room for Pumpkinhead.
You said you get the creeper from Super Creepers.
I don't associate with pedophiles.
There you go. Let's move on, baby. My man.
Good one. All right.
Yeah, Joe. What's next?
What's up? Where are we going?
All right. Sorry.
So we're gonna watch. We're gonna talk about this. We already fucking watched it. Sixth Sense. And in that movie, there is an actor that has been snubbed by the Academy, named Donnie Wahlberg. And if you're like almost 50, I think he's 50, and you're still going by Donnie, you should shoot yourself in the mouth. But that's like a separate question.
I got a personal thing about grown men who still have the Y or the I at the other name. I mean, I've met some nice people who have it, but it's weird to me. I just can't get over it sometimes.
But he had like an extreme. Sorry, go ahead, Joe.
No, you're gonna talk about it, and then I'm gonna tell you what I told you because of the pre-show. So
okay, so he had an extreme body change. I think he lost 20 to 30 pounds to play this 5-second role. He plays it very well, and that prompted me.
Yeah, he's good, but it was a lot of effort for a really small moment. But it really did reinvigorate his whole career, so I guess it was worth it.
Yeah. He then got Saw and all that bullshit. So, what is your favorite actor or role that went through an extreme body change to achieve that
All right.
performance.
Before we talk about this, I just want to say Donnie Wahlberg's transformation in this, he cracks me up because he's on screen for about 5 minutes. Yeah, he's good, but any skinny actor in Hollywood could have done that scene to
Yeah, I could have
whatever
done it.
level.
That
And
could have been
done the
Doug. That
same.
could have been Doug Jones.
and Donnie Wahlberg was not on the block guy, but no one was like, "Oh shit, you see that riveting Donnie Wahlberg performance?"
But I do
Anyways.
remember it being a thing almost immediately that you heard about. Like, did you know that guy was Donnie Wahlberg?
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah,
look
yeah.
like him at all.
It doesn't.
So anyway, because
What was
I
your
let
pick?
off,
Go ahead, Joe.
I'll start. Mine actually, and this guy had a lot of transformations. Yeah, I feel like he was like one of the OGs of this. But one I always find wild is De Niro getting his teeth capped for Cape Fear.
Oh shit! Yeah, he
So
was
De Niro-
jacked in that too.
So De Niro had like, he had the dramatic weight gain for Raging Bull, and then he had some ones of weight loss. But the one that I always go back to, because Cape Fear, if you do any reading about it, it was also like a role, like just like a paycheck role for like Scorsese, and it was I do one.
It's a remake, so yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But
It's like a
fucking
big
De Niro-
studio movie. It's
the
yeah.
crazy guy De Niro is. He goes to the dentist and he's like, "Can you break the fronts of my teeth?" Because he wanted to look more like, I guess,
It's fucking insane.
serial killer or a rapist or whatever. So he went to a dentist and got his teeth chipped away for that role. That is to me the weirdest one, because something about teeth and like it's an actual
Teeth and
damage
nail.
to your,
Don't fuck with teeth and nail. And
it's
Yeah,
like
that's
damage to your
brutal.
actual like
Hurts.
structure. Like weight gain is dramatic and it
yeah, and he wonders why now he can fucking survive on 9 million a year because he fucking broke his tooth in the past. What the fuck are you doing, De Niro?
So that one
This
always
isn't a
drives
movie star, but real quick, can we talk about Dee Snider? He had his fucking teeth filed down to points. The dude from Twisted
Really?
Sister.
What the
Hell
fuck?
yeah, he did.
uh,
Insane. Shark face. It's nuts.
yeah, I did not know that about Dee Schneider.
Yeah.
There's some fucking
Yeah,
big-
and that's probably like maybe a hot take, but that's probably one of my least favorite Scorsese movies. Cape Fear.
I like Cape Fear a
Well,
lot.
it feels like the most like it's like a studio movie.
Yeah.
You know
It's
what I mean? It
literally-
just doesn't feel
I
very
really
much
like
like
it.
a Scorsese
I'm-
movie. I haven't seen it in years. I would watch
I
it
think it's-
again.
I think
just
it's a
watched
good
it the other day.
thriller. But it is one of those ones. I'm pretty sure they were like, he was like, "I want to make Casino," and they were like, "Oh, you got to make this one first, bitch." That's how Scorsese operated with the ones he wanted to make. Like, okay, I'll do the thing you need a name to.
Is that why he did Hugo?
Oh, man,
no, I
that's
just
a
think
pet
it's really-
project, I think.
Yeah.
I like Hugo.
Yeah.
TJ, what did you pick?
I went with an actor that I'm hit or miss with. I went with Tom Hardy for like Bronson, Bane,
Ooh.
Dark Knight Rises, and Warrior, where this guy just went from like this like pretty 165-pound model, obviously steroids. Who?
Well, yeah, like I just rewatched Inception a while ago, and he's just like a pretty boy in that. You know, he does not
that
very
guy.
physically imposing or anything.
He's a
But,
guy.
like, even like
Yeah.
Bronson, and then in Warrior, especially where his traps just like are up into like above his
Yeah,
ears.
and
Warriors.
you can tell
He looks like a legitimate, like he could be a legitimate MMA fighter. Like he has that body he got
Looks
there.
like a
and you can tell that in Bronson, like he was like injecting himself because you can see like the balls shrunk.
Yep. And even like when the Dark Knight Rises, when he was cast as Bane, I just
Well, no, that was steroids.
no. Well, like, yeah. Well, I mean, all of it was steroids, no matter what
Dude,
you
no,
say.
but he went. I think I read when Bane came out. I think he had gained like 30 pounds for Warrior, and then he put on top of that 30 more.
You can tell he's huge as Bane, but he's also like he doesn't have the definition he has in Warrior. He's really bulked
Yeah.
up. He looks
real
puffed
bulked
up. Yeah.
Like,
But-
even, like those preview shots, like you got of him before you got a trailer or anything, with like it was just like him, and like you saw his spine, like his back, and just like you knew it was like all Tom Hardy. You're like, this guy's just like going, like regardless of what happened in the fucking film, like he was going for it, which I respect incredibly.
It's so
like,
weird they let someone like do that for Bane again, because the dude who played Bane in Batman and Robin died from all this. He was a wrestler,
Yeah.
died from all the
But that's
steroids.
definitely
he
like that's
took.
before he even got
I
on.
was gonna say that dude was already all jacked.
That dude was
on.
already
You know what I
fucked.
mean?
I-
Like, yeah,
I
he
know.
didn't. It wasn't the ones he did for the movie. It just finally caught up with him. Wrestlers barely make it to 45 as it
you're
is.
right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Then you get
Go ahead.
Hardy will show up in like what's that movie with Reese Witherspoon and Chris Pine where he's just like
War is Love, or
yeah, with like the spy movie where
This
he's
means
back,
war. I think.
you know,
Yeah.
he's
he's like
still
slimmed down again.
yeah, he's still big dude, but he's slimmed down. He's only like 5'10", if
Well, yeah,
that.
when
I
he was
love-
Mad,
but I
as
love
Mad
that he
Max,
was-
he's kind of raggedy, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love that he was doing Lawless in between Warrior and
I fucking love
and
Lawless.
the night
And
the
you gotta
night
see.
and the Night Rises, and he was like with a cardigan, and you can see like he was just like
Just hiding
He
it.
Just
Yeah.
like when The Rock is going to be in the Jungle Cruise, you're like, no human looked like that in the
Murder,
1800s. They didn't have
like
protein
a
in their diet to
prohibition
look
era,
like
and
that.
he's just like deadlifting 3 turns. He's just like
It's just him as Bronson because they had to make him look at least like 6'3", which was tough. So the camera was always like here,
They
looking up at him.
Bronson is legit.
I
the
love
only movie that I go, oh, Tom Hardy fucking knows how to
can
act.
act.
The
Oh,
rest
yeah,
is just like
he kills it in that one.
They
Yeah.
at least in, like comedies with guys who are overly built, like when John Cena is in a comedy now, like playing a dad, like people could do with throwaway jokes of like, all right, like Roid Rage or something like that. Where
Yeah.
you're like, all right, at least we're acknowledging how big this fucking
Yeah.
person is.
Yeah,
I was laughing about Jingle All the Way. Like,
Yeah.
if Arnold Schwarzenegger was your neighbor, he's like, oh, hey, I'm just a normal, mild-mannered
would try to
dude.
cheat.
No,
He
you're
would try to-
not.
They put him in a
He would try to
turtleneck and a
score with his
flannel to
love.
hide. And just like,
And you have the,
All right, who's
balls to
next?
try to fuck that guy's
Brian,
wife.
go ahead. I'll close it out. Since it's my turn.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was gonna. I had a couple. De Niro was on my list for Raging Bull because I watched
That's
that.
wild. That's
It's
wild what he did.
wild.
And
And
well, actually, let's group it with Tom Hanks. He kind of did the same thing, but reversed.
Yeah. Well, he got big
Oh, like
for the beginning
Castaway?
of Castaway, and then he
Yeah.
ended up losing it. But the one that always blows my mind is got to be Christian Bale. From The Machinist to Batman Begins. Like, so in The
is.
Machinist, he literally got down to like 113 pounds or something.
Yeah, I thought it was like
Insane.
119, 113 or something.
Yeah.
Like
He
that.
lost
20.
65 pounds for The Machinist.
He said
he
he only
gained
ate like a single
99.
apple a day. Like,
Like a cigarette or something.
yeah.
It's like the
yeah,
Joker.
Yeah.
For a
And
movie that no one saw too. Like
I
that's
love
what
that
always
movie.
kicker. No,
The
Machinist
Machinist is a good movie, but you're right. It was for like he was still kind of an unknown a little bit. Christian Bale. He
But
was
didn't
working
he
his
get-
way up.
didn't he get
He
nominated?
wasn't a leading
Didn't he get
man.
nominated for that shit?
I think so. I think maybe he
Did
did.
he?
But then he got so big for
Yeah,
Batman.
yeah.
Like he got too big, and they
I
they
give you
brought
what,
him
Christopher
in and they were
Nolan
like,
has a
the
nice
suit
fucking
doesn't
workout plan.
fit. We got to do all these scenes of him training with no shirt on until we can get him slimmed down enough to get in the goddamn costume. But he's huge. Like if you see that scene with him training with the League of Shadows and they're
He's
hitting him with the
big.
sticks, he's bulky. He's
Yeah.
really
Yeah, there's like a-
swole-like.
There's like a moment where he's like staring at the fire, and he just like this.
Yeah.
I know
And
exactly.
it just looks like a mountain on top
And
of a human.
The best
being.
part about
like,
that
I know
is
that he's tall and stuff, but goddamn, he
Yeah.
really packed it on. And
Yeah, I looked it up.
The extreme shift back
Then
and
he
forth.
lost it a lot, not machinist levels, but then he loses it all again, wins his Oscar for The Fighter,
Yeah.
gains it back for Batman, then gains more weight for when he
American
played
Hustle.
Roger. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
American
so
Hustle and what the fuck's his the movie he just
Cheney,
did?
Don Cheney,
Dick.
Dick Cheney.
Yeah, he
Oh,
played
yeah,
Dick
Cheney.
Cheney. Yeah, like
Yeah, I looked it up, and he lost 65 for The Machinist to get
That's
there,
crazy.
and then he gained 99.
Think about it this way: like, what if they
for
had?
Batman.
What if they had
He's
like a
huge.
design-
Like I said, in Batman Begins, he's enormous.
Let's say, like, what if they already had a bat suit like designed and like he comes in jacked, like he's like, I can't move, so that's
No
why
wonder he can't turn.
piece differently now, where it's like single
I
things.
think that actually is partial of the story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They
Absolutely.
were like they were like, you got to lose some weight.
Yeah, he needs
Yeah,
to
but-
lean out.
But you know, I mean, that's just a big twist.
So I
Christian Bale's career.
got
You said
three.
to go yet, Joe.
I got three. I got three. I got
I have
three.
one
and
more honorable
they're-
mention if it's not on your list too.
I respect that, Joe.
I doubt that anybody has this one
Right.
because this is my personal favorites. right, so I have Russell Crowe for Body of Lies. The motherfucker gained 63 pounds to play that overeating boss of Leonardo DiCaprio. But what I love about it is like he never fucking lost that weight. He just kept he just stayed fat for the rest of his career. Like in The
Forever.
Nice Guys, he just has like a huge belly, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm a badass now. I have a huge belly. I don't give a fuck. I'll knock the teeth
I
out."
got paid.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
throw my weight behind a punch. What's up?
You will
Yeah,
never
what's
see
up?
him gladiator style unless
Yeah,
Marvel
the-
pays him.
No,
Then
he
you
doesn't give a
shouldn't.
fuck. The second one I fucking
Reed
love
Richards, baby.
is Ryan Gosling gained 60 pounds for
Oh,
The Lovely Bones and
I
got
love this
fired
story.
by Peter Jackson because he was like, "What the fuck are you doing? This is not the
Wait.
the
Who's
character
supposed to be
that
in Lovely Bones?
this
he
is
was
the
supposed
best.
to be Mark Wahlberg."
The
He
dad?
was supposed, yeah,
Yeah.
he was supposed to
So
be
he
the
gave
dad.
himself like legit dad bod.
That's
Ryan
incredible.
Like
Gosling was
I had in
I
my
can't-
head like a very depressed, overweight father because he just lost his daughter.
He's like,
Oh, that-
motherfucker, I
I
hired
used to
Ryan
work-
Gosling.
how that
Wow,
character
I
should
didn't
be.
even know that.
And the second one I fucking love, which is kind of same in the same vein, is J.K. Simmons got fucking jacked
Oh, for fucking
for a
Commissioner
movie
Gordon.
role that never happened and a sequel that never happened.
That picture that came out of him doing the fucking
I
curls.
think that
it's
shit
like-
was fake. I think he was wearing some fake arms. There's no way that was real. That was
Dude,
like some
in Whiplash,
prosthetics.
no.
I thought you were going to
In
talk about
Whiplash-
Jared Leto when he got fat to play the
Chapman,
yeah, Mark David
Mark
Chapman.
Chapman
Yeah.
for what
chapter.
chapter like
Oh,
20
man,
or
that's
something.
a good one. Is J.K. Simmons getting fucking huge for a role?
Also
that
played
just didn't-
Commissioner Gordon. Oh yeah, notoriously yoked Commissioner
Yeah.
Gordon. We all know that.
Well, it's a
Like,
Zack Snyder film.
Wait
dude.
for the
You gotta
Snyder
fucking
cut,
go
guys.
extreme,
Wait
bro.
for the Snyder cut.
But yeah, those are my three.
Doritos.
I got one more honorable mention, and I can't believe nobody talked about it. Fucking Charlize Theron in
just gonna-
Monster, incredible. Not only did she have to
That's
she,
like
did
the
she put on the
pinnacle,
weight,
though.
but she somehow made herself unattractive, which is really hard if you're Charlize Theron. Like,
She
You know, like
is
if Charlize
a
Theron
fucking
gained weight,
goddess.
you know, like normally like that, you'd be like, Charlize still super hot. Like she went like, no, I'm ugly.
no, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be ugly, legitimately.
Yeah, I don't know. It's wild, but I do hate partially a body transformation where like, well, they did that, like they deserve more credit for their performance. Like, well, no, they didn't. Sometimes it's like, well, they didn't show up to act. They were just like, I lost
I
weight.
mean, it's
Look
the
at-
same shit as the Boyhood argument. Like,
Yeah,
oh, it took
That's
so,
what I'm
it took so
saying.
long to make.
It's
Yeah, but
like
it sucked. You should have
Yeah.
scrapped it at year 6. You should have said
Because it was
"No,
hard."
sucks."
it's cool. I don't know. There's so many.
What a twist, right?
precedents.
What a twist.
Well, there's another movie that has a big twist. It's not my pick, but like Brad Pitt did a body transformation for Fight Club, which has a big twist in it.
Good one. Yes.
Same with Edward Norton. Actually, Edward Norton did have a body. He lost a shit ton of weight because he saw an
Damn.
American.
She said Edward
History.
Norton, and I just thought about another great twist movie.
So anyway, we are talking about The Sixth Sense today, and so to lead into
Oh,
that, we're gonna before
Oh,
we
and
do,
also we should warn from this point of the show on out, any movie we talk about, fair game for spoilers.
Spoilers.
Sorry,
that's
everybody.
a good point. That's just
Yeah.
we're talking about movie
So,
twists.
Ryan and Stephanie, you're the only ones
If
listening.
there's anything you haven't seen that we start
Spoilers.
talking about it, I don't want to deter you guys.
So
I hope you guys doing well. I'm sorry that I'm not on Twitter. I love you, Ryan. I bet you're
So-
killing it on Twitter.
So Yusuf, what is your favorite like twist in a movie?
So
Or
I have a shit ton of picks, but
so just go with
the
one
main-
and then we'll do honor mention.
yeah, the main
Do
one.
some rounds. Let's do some
The
rounds.
main one, so fair warning, Arrival.
seen it.
I fucking love the
Such a
twist
good
of.
movie.
All right, so I may get, I'm gonna get heavy on you guys, but I fucking love the twist that she's living her life in a continuous sequence, in where she's accepting that the relationship that she's gonna start with Jeremy Renner, she already knows the end, and she knows it's gonna lead to the death of her daughter. Yet she continues to do it because she's already lived the beautiful relationship that she had with Jeremy Renner that she's gonna lose, and she's also gonna lose her daughter. But she keeps going forward because she just still wants to love her daughter and wants to live with her. And the twist of like her knowing and she giving away the secret to the, I want to say
Aliens.
Chinese, right? Chinese government.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, she calls the Chinese
been a while.
government. Sir, she gives the twist of she knew what his wife said to him. So that's what she said on the phone, and he's like, how do you fuck do you know that? And that's why he trusts her. So that twist was fucking amazing, and how her communicating with the aliens gave her the perspective of being able to see time in a different way than humans see time. Yeah, that's one of my favorite.
That's
Aliens
good.
are fucking tight.
Yeah, it's Arrival is fucking amazing, and suck my dick, TJ, for saying Dune looks like shit. I'm still looking forward to what Denny.
I never said Dune looks like shit. I just said it looked like a really cool Star Wars movie. That's about it. That's all I said.
Star Wars stole from Dune, but whatever.
So Brian, what do you find twist worthy?
Real quick off the dome, I don't want to steal anybody, but I can't believe it. This one didn't make my list, so I'm gonna give my first honorable mention at the top. And I gotta say, Primal Fear, man, with Ed Norton and Richard Gere. It's got an excellent twist. Excellent
when you
twist.
said Edward Norton, I was like, fuck yeah, he has a movie with a twist. What was it? Primal
Fear. It was like his big screen, like his big debut movie too. And since TJ hasn't seen it, I won't even spoil it. We'll just let it ride. It's a good one. Go check it out. You like a good courtroom drama. You like good twist movies.
But isn't saying that there's a twist already a spoiler?
Yeah, it is. I actually hate when the marketing of a movie tells you there's a twist. I hate that.
I think it leads to poor expectations of a film.
Yeah.
And that actually leads into what I wanted to talk about next, my other movie, or at least my first one, Shutter Island.
Yeah.
Love that twist.
Shutter Island is an incredible movie with a really good twist that's not necessarily meant to surprise you. It's more meant to propel the next level of the story, and what spawns from that and what the character has to go through and the choices that the character makes based on what he learns is what the movie's all about. But so many people got hung up on it being a twist movie that it really got brushed. It's an amazing Scorsese movie. It's got it's really creepy and scary. It's like you always wanted Scorsese to make a horror movie, and they did, and nobody fucking liked it. It's amazing.
Yeah, and it's kind of this. Sorry, go ahead, TJ.
No, go you, please.
So it's kind of the same vein as Arrival in a sense that is a fucking heart-wrenching end twist, because you know that Leo didn't revert back. He just doesn't want to live in a world where he knows that his wife killed his children, and he knows that he killed his wife. So he just wants his fucking memory gone from the world. And
he'd rather live a lie than live with being a monster. It's really incredible. But like I said, it got unfairly maligned. Joe, you're so polite. What is it, buddy?
So was this before? No, I bet this has to do with not living up or people not giving it recognition. Was this right after or before Inception?
2010. So
before.
2010 or 2011. So right at the same time, almost right around the same time.
I think Inception overshadows this
same year.
I think it overshadows this for people, not because they have I don't know. There's a similar trailer look to them. I know that sounds.
Yeah,
weird.
I get what you're saying, and that's just because the people that cut. It's not like filmmakers cut trailers, so they just do it the way that was popular at the time. And
actually, Shutter Island came out.
Shutter Island's got some amazing Shining-esque shots of them coming up to the island at the very beginning that are great trailer shots with big booming music over it. Hey, Shutter Island could be a good movie to break in your media thing.
If you rewatch it with the knowledge that it's like a therapy experiment that they're running with him, you'll notice a lot of shit ton of things that he put throughout the entire movie.
Shockingly, it's a Martin Scorsese movie, and it's really well made and really layered and well written. And
I remember I've seen the movie a few times and I own it, but I remember the trailer being the old lady, because it's being a horror movie, the old lady going, shh, and it. It's a great pick because it does that ending. If you're not looking for it, because it wasn't sold on wait till you see the end, you're like, that's the best type of twist. You're like, that there is no ending to this. This was just fucking me the whole time.
I was listening to somebody talk about The Sixth Sense, and they were saying how the mark of a good twist movie is if the movie's good the second time when you know what's going on,
Yeah.
if it holds up. And I definitely think Shutter Island does.
Yeah,
So,
but I feel like you said, it was maligned as a twist movie, and I feel like obviously we're gonna talk about it soon, but I feel like The Sixth Sense is also maligned as a twist movie. Both are more of a revelation that
yeah,
we
I
learn
agree.
with the character. It doesn't change the perspective of the entire movie in a sense that it's ruined for me. I can't watch it again.
I would say the only thing that I would say pushes Sixth Sense closer to being a twist movie is because the movie literally basically ends on that moment. You know what I mean? You kind of
Yeah.
like there's
Yeah.
no with Shutter Island, you get your big revelation, and then there's probably like there's a couple more scenes that kind of play into that.
Fair,
But anyway,
fair.
But
who's next? Joe, TJ, which one of you guys want to go?
TJ.
Oh yeah. Well, my pick is The Sixth Sense. Did you know Bruce Willis is the guy who has hair?
That was Bruce Willis the whole time.
Yeah, that was
I
Bruce
thought it was
Willis.
Judge Ryan.
Dude, I have. No, wait. You made the joke, so I have this note. Is that his real hair? Or is that a wig?
It's painted.
I think at that time it's a wig.
I did some research. It's the start of his hair. Okay.
No, we're in the podcast.
It's the start of like he still has his hair, but it's so dyed and like painted more in than like full wig yet.
Oh,
like they were still salvaging.
It's like they use that spray that like thickens his own weak little follicles that were dying on top of his head. All right, fair enough.
So anyway, so TJ, that was a twist of a pick, but what is your pick?
Mine's on. It's probably not a twist. I mean, there's the usuals you can always pick for film. With one, I went more of like a flip of the script where it was like I went to this movie just looking to go with like another like hour and a half slasher, and then the I guess the what do you call them, the girls in the films?
Final girl.
The final girl flips the fucking script and starts fucking killing everybody in the goddamn movie. And You're Next. Is that?
You're Next is great.
Yeah,
I'm sitting there watching this movie.
Right?
Technically it does have a twist. It's the boyfriend.
Yeah, like that. Okay. Yeah, the usual horror movie.
I think that's
talking about like I'm watching this movie expecting just like this, like I don't know, slasher killer, the whole family. She's gonna survive, but like it's gonna be a very like I'm running for my life type of thing. And then she like talks about her Australian outback background, how she grew up like doing all this shit, and everyone's like, even her boyfriend's like, wait, what? And then like she starts like setting those traps and like going outside, like things you would think while you're watching a horror movie are like, no, don't run outside, run back inside and like double back, and like she's doing these things. You're like, yeah, she's fucking doing it, and then she starts murdering the guys, and like just that type of movie made me like.
Did any of you guys see The Hunt? Yeah, it was fun. It's like that. It's kind of fun. It's like a fun movie like that.
I'd rather watch. No offense to The Hunt. I'd rather watch Your Next.
I think I saw Your Next, but I need to see it again. It's one of those ones that didn't stick with me. But I would give it a
what's the director's name?
Yeah, the guy who did The Guest. They did Blair Witch. The writing directing duo.
Ryan Turek, was it?
No, Adam. I feel like it's.
Adam.
Weingard or something.
Yes,
Wingard. Yeah, he's a really fun director. So mine
Death Note, so blah.
Mine stays with the kind of horror theme, and I looked at the same list trying to figure out. I was thinking like one twist that I don't think it's talked about enough because the whole franchise kind of muddied it down and was twists and turns, but it is the original Saw, and the twist to that Jigsaw was in the room the whole time and spent the whole movie with him. I mean, the guy's there, and I did that. Still, to me, I'm like, you had to been really clever to go, oh, that guy's alive. Like, there's really nothing wink or nod that tells you, even when you rewatch the movie, that the guy in the center of the room is the living guy. At least I have picked up on it in many times I've seen it.
I watched it with a buddy of mine, and he had already watched it, And at the start of the movie, he's like, "Who do you think is the killer?" And I was like,
Oh.
"Oh, fuck you, fuck you." And then he spent the entire movie going like every 30 minutes, like, "Who do you think is the killer?" It's like, why? What the fuck are you doing, man? Why are you doing this to me?
Yeah.
I want to watch a fucking movie. And then when it happened, he was like, wasn't even watching the screen. He was
He's
like,
just like staring at you.
and when he stands up, I go like, "Motherfucker!" And he's like, "What?"
God.
But yeah, that was a great.
But yeah, and it's one I think though, if you do watch to show to someone, unlike the Sixth Sense, they would be like, just hey, where's the movie? Like, unless it's your buddy. I really think it's not like, all right, keep your eye out, blah blah blah. It's Fight Club. You know he's not real.
But if your buddy's doing that next to you, I'm gonna punch him in his dick.
Yeah.
Every time. Like, dude, leave me the fuck alone. And let me figure it out. Like, when Mac shows up in Mac and Me, I want to fucking get excited. Okay.
I'll be the one. Okay.
Oh, fun fact: Adam Wingard is doing Godzilla vs King Kong.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I did know that.
Oh
I do hate though when people use the word twist wrong for a movie. I remember someone like when it was like, you gotta wait and stay to the end credits for Guardians. You gotta wait for that twist. And it was just the Howard the Duck cameo. I'm like, that's not a twist, guy. That's just a cameo.
That's
an
just
Easter egg,
nothing, my man.
Anyway, no, I feel like we talk hours. I just have a couple honorable mentions. I'll start and then go around. As I've said it before, again, I do really like Fight Club. I think Fight Club is a good movie. That twist is surprising if you don't know it's coming. I actually am, and by the way, full disclosure, I really love rewatching The Sixth Sense, and we're going to talk. I think Fincher does a better job at shooting someone only one person can see than M. Night did on a rewatch. That's just for because I don't want to spend time talking about Fight Club that long, but that's kind of like the same. They were like a month apart in release.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Or something like that. Month, 2 months, same. 1999, guys. We've picked 5 movies out of 99. Anyway,
strong year in our lives, anyway.
I have honorable mentions.
You know, after the end of honestly, big one to say is which I was ruined for me at this time, but Brian might have not known it. Darth Vader, being Luke.
Oh, Brian was alive during that time now.
Yeah.
He was like 45.
He was like, yeah. He took his kid already,
because
I took my son to see it opening weekend.
They always say, like, you hear people, they always say that's one of the biggest twists of all time that doesn't get put in because it wasn't advertised as.
I'm not older than The Empire Strikes Back, you guys, just so you know.
His first family went to that movie. I have a few honorable mentions as well. I have Old Boy.
Oh yeah.
What a twist! The Wicker Man. Good solid twist as well. And obviously, like I feel like the granddaddy, at least for me, there's obviously more, but the Planet of the Apes, like
yeah, baby, that was on my list too.
Come on, that's a granddaddy.
Guys, go back to that episode where they talk about.
You did it.
You did it.
Got it. Oh, please allow me a few honorable mentions. An older one, and this might be stretching the definition of a twist, but I think it is. Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Movie sucked.
The idea that
thick.
okay, let's mute TJ real quick. He's a moron. But
Yeah, lower his mic.
the idea at the very end that she's like, I will get into this. I will raise this baby. You know what I mean? This is like I have this connection. I'll do it.
It's a stunning twist, especially for the pain they put her through.
Everything she goes through. Absolutely, I know.
I don't think I can unmute TJ.
That's fine.
No,
some other quick mentions. I know me and Yusuf have talked about High Tension. I still think that's a good twist. I still think it holds up pretty good. Jacob's Ladder is an incredible one.
Oh yes,
so fucking good. And The Prestige. I think The Prestige is a great one too.
Oh, I have a note about The Prestige because I was listening to a few things about The Sixth Sense to prepare for this today. And TJ, we can't get him off mute, so just bear with me, or come back into the call.
He unmuted himself. There
you got it. You got it. All right. No, but The Prestige, I actually heard a thing today, and I was like, oh shit. So like, the real twist of The Prestige is not the twist we all saw of, like, you know, the twin and this and that. It's that Hugh Jackman is like a fucking 8th clone of himself. That he keeps dying. Like, that's the real twist in the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, the movie has two. The movie tells you that, there's a thing we show you, but there's a thing that actually happens.
The real twist is that TJ hates that movie as well. Whoa! Who saw a cut comment? So let's talk about The Sixth Sense.
No, I have my honorable mentions. God damn it!
No, wait. I want to shit on TJ's honorable mention, no matter what they are.
Yeah. Talk about a twist that sucked is it doesn't suck, but over rewatch, just like how'd she do any of these things, or how'd she display these bodies being an old, haggardly old woman? Friday the 13th.
Oh,
doing all the fucking murders and displaying bodies.
I thought you were going to say the orphanage.
No. Then
the orphan. The orphan.
What's your franchise?
Underworld.
Underworld.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna end this with the M. Night Shyamalan film, which is a twist I really enjoyed, which is a resurgence, people say. But The Visit was a great fucking little POV twist with the old couple in the psychiatric home taking over.
That's one I really liked the first time, but did not hold up as good on rewatch. I was
I've only seen it once.
Yeah, I was rooting. I was rooting for the grandparents to decapitate that fucking asshole of a kid.
Oh yeah, that little kid, the little rapper kid. He could. How did they not? When they stuck the diaper in his face, I was like, finally, the climax of the movie has come.
The only good part of the movie.
Oh shit! Okay, we
fucking throw poop on him.
Yes.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And then I don't know why M. Night was like, you know what we'll do with the ending credits? Let's have the kid rap over it.
Oh my god.
He made me because he was trying to make me commit suicide. I think is what it was.
Oh, okay, that's the real twist.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway.
How about we twist out of this?
Talking about twists,
topic.
we did.
Let's twist, guys.
We talk
the
about
dance that was popular when I was a young guy.
Now,
Brian was 75 when that song came out.
Now this,
I'm Chubby Checker's dad, actually. Weirdly,
this twist of a film is my pick, and I might say already that this might be the best movie I have picked on Flyover. But I will read the synopsis for people that do not know, as told by the Google blurb. Young Cole Sear, Haley Joel Osment, is haunted by a secret. He is visited by ghosts. Cole is frightened by visitations from those with unresolved problems who appear from the shadows. He is too afraid to tell anyone about his anguish except child psychologist Dr. Malcolm Crowe, Bruce Willis, as Dr. Crowe tries to uncover the truth about Cole's supernatural abilities. The consequences for the client and therapist are a jolt that awakens them both from something unexplainable. Bum, bum, bum. This is The Sixth Sense, written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
So I'm going to argue that Blade 2 is better. Because
I didn't pick Blade 2.
I did.
I did?
Yeah.
That's your pick, and it's awesome.
Right.
And you picked up Black Christmas and.
All right, guys, I've picked some good movies. I know.
Okay, I like them better. Also, Bruce Willis is dead. If you didn't know, he's like,
What?
yeah.
What
do you think is like the hourly? What's the rate for a ghost therapist? Is like he's cheaper or is he like more expensive than a regular?
Well, Toni Collette doesn't seem like she has extra money.
No,
although
I
had to call a little bullshit. I don't want to jump the gun, but
no, jump it. I already jumped to the end.
I'll say this: the last scene with Cole and his mom gets me. Like I legit choked up.
Yeah, it's
that scene.
Tearjerker.
But right before that, like at the very beginning of that scene, she says, "I wanted to be at your play, but I couldn't make it. I have 2 jobs." I was like, well, it's not like they overlap. You would only have to get off from 1 job.
Also,
doing a double shift.
You don't do them both at the same time. It's like I couldn't get off from both my jobs to come to your play. You would only had to get off 1, Toni Collette.
So,
all right? So you're not a good mom. That's what I'm saying.
That's a good gripe. I'm gonna move back to the beginning of the movie.
She's trying, man, and she's from Philadelphia. Okay, she's trying.
But
what's great about her being,
I stole that though.
They did not over fucking characterize her, like as like a city like like cheesesteak mouth person.
No, they could have and they didn't.
They gave her a really good accent. She had a great accent.
Some of her outfits are a borderline.
But not like
I
not
feel
like
like this is
Merc-
better than Hereditary.
Oh, yeah,
100%.
Oh, this is her only Oscar nom.
Yeah.
I don't know if her performance is she's just not in it as much as she was. You know, she's it's like she's kind of she's a very important background player. You know,
When she talks about the bumblebee button,
I didn't watch. Probably the reel that they showed was that either the breakfast or dinner scene when she's like accusing him of
taking
shit.
the butterfly pin.
The butterfly.
When they were in the car, that has to be the Oscar reel.
Yeah, the car scene. Like I said, it works. Like that's
right.
that
I also just
like I'm getting goosebumps right now thinking about that scene.
Talking about Tony Collette though, in that I just also love the scene of the first kind of ghosty scene we see with him, with all the cabinets open up, but you don't see anything, and you just feel like, oh, this is something that's happened like way too much in her fucking home.
Yeah,
and she just looks at her son like
she's sick of it.
Yeah,
and I like the way he kind of doesn't try to explain it. He just is I was because like he same thing with he doesn't want to tell her. He doesn't want her to look at him the way everybody else does, and that's the same
what gets
with like the friends.
You know, moment when he's like, she's like, I would never, or whatever she says, and you're like, oh.
That's and that also the way Jesus Christ. Okay, people who fucking fan over Hereditary.
I like that movie.
I get like the whole the mom like loses the daughter. I get it, but the overacting was insane. This is like a real mom like to son like
she's
moment.
Never looked better. I just want to say.
Oh yeah, she looks incredible. But like when she like does the whole like where she chokes up and like sits up and like looks at like something else and has to like regain herself and then goes back to him to like talk about shit. She does this a couple times, but like. Anyone who has a mom who's been a kid who like fuck kind of disappoints her, like kind of like does one bad thing to her, where they go like,
like they wanna tell you that you fucking suck. Like, I don't want to scar him for the rest of my life.
This was
throughout.
This was Toni Collette like kind of being reintroduced to American audiences because I think she was just like only the best friend who was not the person in Muriel's wedding. Like it was like
she's Australian, right? She's not American.
Yeah, she's Australian. So it's just really good casting.
And also, her Philly accent was
fucking Australians coming into our country.
Build a wall around Australia.
But going back to the beginning, you
don't got a gel, Joe.
Sorry, man. Sorry. Way to.
No, we should. I like this movie. Really takes its time. It's only an hour and 40. It's about an hour and 45. It's not too long, and it doesn't drag, but it takes its time. You don't really see a real legitimate ghost till about an hour in.
That's a great point. That's a great point because when you think about this movie, you think about the barfing girl or the ghost.
The kid with the big hole in the back of his head.
But it takes so fucking. They build up to.
I mean, that one.
And I guess they say you don't see any ghosts, but you do see one the whole movie. It's Bruce Willis.
Yeah, well, like, the like even just that birthday party where he gets himself stuck in like cubby hole.
Oh, it's so creepy.
Who scares him up? Dude, you're just like,
dude. It's the only unbelievable moment of the entire movie. Because you know that mom from Philly would have just knocked the shit out of those kids.
Yeah, dude.
Right? Yeah. She would have thrown those kids over the balcony.
Oh, yeah. She would have stabbed somebody.
So like this movie's supposed to be based in Philly, obviously, and the mom and Toni Collette's supposed to be a mother who's struggling. But like their kids in a private school. There's only like 2 of those in Philly. Other than that. They're expensive as shit. She's living in Center City. Like the group of friends he has, the kid's an actor. The parents are probably fucking like wealthy. Like I'm wondering if she's like just struggling to give him like an exquisite
kind of
fucking
keeping
life.
Up with the Joneses, kind of.
Yeah, like we're like there's no points for her to be doing this. Philly doesn't.
Could he be a scholarship kid?
He could give you, but it's
I don't know. She was pretty troubled for a scholarship kid. I don't think they put up with it.
But like this is just all M. Night shit because, like I said, did some extra research on this one. M. Night, yeah, grew up in Philly, but he also was in an Indian, like he's Muslim, and Indian kid who went to Catholic school. So that is a straight up plant
Oh
of
yeah.
this is what I did in Philly.
Right,
from
he's just doing his own experience.
Can
Yeah.
can somebody send like an email or a letter to M Night and ask him to like just stop himself in movies?
So
Like
what's
nobody
funny
wants
is
to
how,
see acting.
what's
And
funny
he
about
thought he was Alfred Hitchcock, you know.
so what's
Wait,
No, but
is
funny
it a
about
couple?
no, but
couple-
Alfred doesn't fucking. He's just like either walking in the background or he's just like standing there.
He doesn't like
He's not
get
acting.
himself a loving camera shot where he delivers like one of the most important lines of dialogue in the movie or something.
what's funny
Oh
as
my
hell
God.
about him and M. Night start like cameoing in this movie as the doctor is at the
Yeah.
time he's like, well, I just did that because my family's full of doctors and that was my nod to them. But looking further is apparently that scene, like Toni Collette had her best acting. Like it's a really longer scene. She had her like best acting in the whole movie. It was like a big dramatic scene, and he cut it all out because he was like, I just couldn't stand myself. It's like, then why the fuck did you put yourself in these movies?
Yeah.
Like the worst cameo is Signs. He's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know
yeah.
what
That's
I
an integral
did.
part.
Yeah, he had to make himself the crux of the whole movie.
But if we're
Uh,
talking about acting in this, like even okay, we were saying before, like a movie you know the twist of, you know it's good when you watch the second time, the twist still doesn't necessarily need to hit, but like everything with Bruce Willis and his wife still doesn't make you think
Really-
that he's, you know what I mean, the
They're
spoiler
really good
of it that he's fucking
And they
dead.
play it just subtle enough, like stuff
Yeah,
like
exactly.
when he walks in, he's
Even
not
with
the one
Toni
who
Collette
he
stuff.
stops and watches his wedding video, but he didn't turn it on. She has it on, and he just walks in the room. So it's like there's all these little places where you think like, did he interact with something? No, he never really did, but it's not enough to like draw your attention to it or
and then
anything.
it just like straight up, like one scene that I found weird is like just when it straight up stops to show that couple talking about that engagement ring and the omens, and then you
Yeah, the
see
scene-
the wife when he
the scene
breaks
with
the
the wife
window.
Like being a
Yeah.
good salesperson or something.
And
Yeah.
also the awesome part about rewatching is that Haley never talks to Bruce in front of his mom.
No.
Like he doesn't
Yeah.
look at Bruce
And
until his mom is gone.
he runs from him. Like
In the beginning, he's like already avoiding him. It's like he's
Yeah,
seen him lurking around.
How long has Bruce been stalking this? Because he
'Cause
has
when-
notes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because when you first meet, when you first meet them together, I'm thinking as a view, like I'm like, oh, he's just like doesn't want to be in therapy and is like being AJ Soprano and running away.
What really
Yeah,
happens
but
is he
like-
goes to the church basically to hide out, probably because it's like
well, here's a question
that's
though.
haunted
Here's a
or
question.
whatever. And then a ghost just straight up approaches him while he's playing,
Each
and is like
Yeah.
talking to him all normal, unlike normal ghosts who are all crazy.
Well, here's a question. Do we know there's no timeline of spoilers again when Bruce Willis gets shot, right?
I think it's about a year
It just
later.
says the next fall. That's
So I'm
the
saying,
like, year
the
later.
time.
is he already the doctor of Cole before this happens, and then Cole knows what happens to him is that's
No.
what he's purposely avoiding
So
him, that's why
what-
he has notes. A ghost
So-
can't take notes though.
No, so what's
Ah,
That's
but,
why he
he
goes
goes
back
through.
and listens to
A ghost
no, but
listens to
what's
recordings.
what's explained? What Haley Joel Osment explains to him when he has the I see dead people. He says they don't know. They only see what they want to see.
Right.
They do what they want to do,
Yeah.
and they really can't tell. So like,
Yeah.
Cole can't tell.
It's a little bit hand wavy,
Yeah.
It's a little
Yeah,
hand
but I
tell-
feel like the worst scene in terms of, oh come on, Bruce, is when Haley comes in and they're sitting alone, the mom and him waiting.
I
for
love
him
that
to
scene.
come.
Yeah, I like
It's
that.
it's a very well done scene. But how long has Bruce been sitting there in silence?
Can
Yeah.
can I
Let him
just
in.
spit? But I don't know.
True.
I
Let
always
him
saw
in.
that. I just always saw that as like
Who?
I don't that he was there. He knows the family. Like the mother doesn't have to interact with like the
Yeah,
tutor.
but who hired him?
Or
In
like
his
the idea
head,
that maybe they
who
were sitting there
hired
talking
him?
about Haley Joel Osment and like they heard his keys, so they stopped.
Yeah.
You know that thing where adults were clearly talking about you and you walk in the room and they all shut up, Like,
Let's
So I don't know. It takes a little liberty, but like I want to go back to this movie. I mean, like I remember when it was out. Like it was It's 99, so I was barely 10 years old, but it was a big blockbuster release. I remember
I
my
was
brother.
a senior in high school.
Yeah, I remember my brother and my dad,
Ryan was going
seeing it like
his
they would do a
third
lot of
high
horror
school.
movies, and being like, it's so scary. And then like when it came out to Blockbuster, it was like, all right, we all watched it. And I remember the VHS actually had. I was so into it by the end of it, even though I was terrified. The VHS had special features at the end of if you watched the credits.
Yeah.
And I remember them telling about the red motif. I don't know why I remember these special
Oh,
features.
sure, yeah. It's not very subtle once you know
No, on
about
a
it. You're like, oh
rewatch-
my god, red's the only color they use in the whole fucking movie.
The only one that is truly egregious to me, like truly like, all right, is the scene, the funeral scene,
The
and
mother
the
is wearing
stepmom in
red.
a red thing. I'm like, no, even if she did it, would not be like, let's have a funeral for my dead.
Everybody's wearing black, and she's sitting there in like a cherry red dress.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
only
you know
one
what?
that's truly
And that's very
right.
fucked up because that's like a real thing. Like that's a sickness in the head. In
Yeah,
where,
Munchausen by proxy is crazy.
oh my god, that's so fucked up.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I want to talk about you guys. Both TJ and Joe were, texting and tweeting about how scary. I really was like, this feels more like almost like a family drama.
Well-
It does have some tension and some scares in it, but especially
Well,
with everything
the-
coming in so late, and
I
maybe
could
it's just.
answer that.
I was
I-
watching it with a 10-year-old.
First, I want to know what he thought of
Not
it.
my
That's
son.
not okay. That's how old I was when I saw it, and it was like the thing. But I can answer that because I tweeted that out about an hour into the movie. Like, this movie scares me, and it's the tension. I know this. I think it's creepy, and kind of what I told Laura. She was like, "Do you think?" And I said, "Absolutely not. She's scared of cat." But I said, "It's a family." I go, "It's a drama." But the horror, like when they hit the horror punches, because there's so little of them, they hit.
Yeah, I
So
100%
it's-
agree with that.
So it's
Oh
more
yeah, I think probably
Like,
the scariest part
yeah,
is
like
Sorry.
I have a long hallway to the right of me, right? The door's closed
that's
now,
what
but
I was
I
gonna
close
mention.
that door because because all the fucking scares are just little things across. I'll let Yusuf kind of take the ball from here, but
Oh yeah, I agree with Joe. It's like that's the scariest part and it's because it plays with childhood um insecurities or
There you go.
fears that
The biggest
Oh,
one.
the moment when he has to pee, but he doesn't want
Yeah.
to leave his room is
Let
such
me-
a
Yeah,
good one.
that's
So let me add on
legit.
that.
That's
Pick it
the
up
scariest
last night.
part of the entire fucking movie. I mean,
No,
you can
man.
argue that Misha Barton invading his like
It's not
Jesus
only
Christ
that,
tent.
but then
It's,
the movie
scary.
gets sad.
it's
Like,
like,
I
one of those
feel
things
like-
where the simplest fucking thing as a temperature change, like that thing for me being a kid now, when like in Jersey you get super humid, so you put the fucking the temperature on like 68, so you wake up in the middle of the fucking night in the middle of summer and you're cold, you
Yeah.
might breathe and like see your breath, or like even in the winter you're just
Yeah.
like,
Apparently,
there
that
were
wasn't
legit
CG.
nights. There were legit nights that I didn't go to pee because I was scared of the fucking dark, and like
Yep.
watching that, and then being justified of my fears of a fucking crazy woman yelling at a kid.
Oh,
like what the
that is
fuck?
just because it looks like his mother kind of too. But what I
Yeah.
love about, but to Brian, to go back by you asked like what was scared about it. But what I love about it is like I wish I updated that tweet because it was like towards the end of it, wasn't going to bed scared, right? I watched it late. It was, oh, this is just a sad movie. Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
and you feel,
it's
It's like a heavy. It's kind of like a heavy drama.
yeah,
Very
but
heavy.
it's sad, but I feel good. Like I like almost after the horror humps of like Haley Joel Osment helping these ghosts, like when he's talking to the fucking people that burned in the
Right, he only really like. I
theater.
like to think that he's going to
Yeah,
do more. They only really show him really helping Misha Barton, but I think also they lead you to believe that just interacting with these ghosts a little bit and kind of like
Yeah.
just being normal
he
and giving
helps
them someone to
Bruce.
kind of like vent to
yeah,
is helpful also.
yeah.
Well,
I mean,
technically he helped Bruce because Bruce. The only reason why Bruce is hanging out is because he feels like he let down Donnie Wahlberg.
Well, I think he has some
And-
unfinished business with his wife
Yeah.
too, because he has this revelation and then he has this sentimental moment with her, and then he's able to go.
also
Yeah, but
Haley
he
Joel Osment,
helps Ben by telling him, you can
Talk
talk
to
to
her.
her while she's sleeping.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
Haley
That was
can't
his
be like, you're a fucking ghost. Leave me alone. Like,
This kid also solves a murder. This is like
yeah.
murder crime thriller. Also,
Well, this was M. Night being like, I have this movie, Unbreakable. All right, we're gonna figure it out.
That's my note too. Damn, Cole Sear should have shown up in Glass.
that's what
He's
he
got a
should-
power,
100%.
right? He's got an ability. He should have been in
Oh,
Glass.
fuck.
I thought he was gonna be the
Yeah.
bad guy. Like eventually,
Fuck, that's a
took him.
great-
It overtook
That
him.
would
Yeah,
have been
second
cool.
pick,
That would have
M.
been
Night.
cool.
Like, there's no reason to
get-
have not had him show up. Like,
Well,
And
yeah,
bring,
last-
just
fucking
bring
West Wing
Shelby.
kid.
especially after Bruce Willis dies. Spoiler alert for Glass. You could have brought in Cole Sear and had like a final scene with the kid who's like didn't grow into a very good actor.
All right, Flyover said the film's going to rewrite Glass, and we're going to have a read along eventually. All
That's
right.
Yeah, there we go.
So
Get Haley Joel
anyway,
on the line.
I do think we can talk about this movie
I
for a
call
while.
dibs
There's a
on
lot of
Samuel
things.
Jackson.
There's a lot of things behind the scenes and in the movie, like even just Haley Joel Osment of his age, like, guess what?
Yeah.
Kills it. Maybe one of the
actually-
best child actors.
He
child
should've won-
actor performances I've ever
He should have
seen.
won the
That
Oscar.
was one of my questions, and Joe
I-
said, suck a dick.
No,
Maybe
I haven't.
maybe we'll ask it. But one of my questions was, is this movie deserves any of the noms that it got? It got
Yep.
It got a
Like,
lot.
should've-
No,
should've
didn't
had
have any
one.
wins.
I
No
have
wins?
Best
Second
Picture.
one.
So it was. I wrote them down. Best Picture, Best Actor in a Supporting Role, Best Actress in a Supporting Role, Director, Writing,
writing.
Best Writing Screenplay directed for the screen, and Best Editing. Take Best Editing out, I think. And,
Best actress.
No.
I feel like
supporting
it should have
actress?
gotten at least a nom for best cinematography.
I
because
can't say about the acting categories until I hear who they're up against. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, they were
Oh,
for supporting, and I just know Haley Joel lost to
So that
Michael
year
Caine
was
Cider House Rules. He should have won.
Who
Like,
do
if
you lose to?
Michael Caine for Cider House Rules,
Oh yeah, he should have won.
and Michael
Haley
Caine.
Joel
Like,
should have won that shit.
if you go back and listen to the Michael Caine's acceptance speech for it, he basically does the thing where he's like, "And oh my God, Haley Joel Osment, you're incredible!" Like, like he kind of sounds like he knows too. He shouldn't have won.
They're only
so-
giving me this because I'm old. But I
Yeah.
think Haley Joel was quite good in
Angelina-
Six
And then they
Sense.
did Secondhand Lions like a couple years later when Haley Joel was like, "I'm Haley Joel Osment."
Yeah, I'm in
Angelina
between my
Jolie-
cute stage.
Angelina Jolie for Girl Interrupted won over Toni Collette.
All right, that makes sense.
Hard
That's
to take
fair.
that one away. That's a pretty good one.
But I feel like
And 99, I mean, Best Picture in 99, that's a murderer's row of, I mean, right now, yeah, take it over American Beauty.
yeah.
But I bet there were some other heavy hitters in that too.
No, actually no. The Insider, Green Mile. You want to take Green Mile?
Green Mile's pretty good.
I fucking love that
Cider
movie.
House Rules.
Um,
I'd
But the
take
other
Six Sense
one
over
was,
most of those.
I'll
though.
take Sixth Sense over all of those pictures, even
but the
everyone.
one that I feel like
I
he
don't.
was
I don't
gonna win.
100% subscribe to the thing that American Beauty isn't good anymore. I do kind of think
It's a good
American
movie.
Beauty's
It's a good movie. I'm not.
I feel like he shouldn't have won any Oscars, period. But it's a good movie.
It's a good movie. I can't get on that. So
But
anyway,
yeah.
I did want to bring up one thing. I know we're running a little long tonight. I had the guys watch. So M. Night Shyamalan has admitted that he took the twist from an Are You Afraid of the Dark episode, The Tale of the Dream Girl, and I just briefly wanted to touch on that because it always cracks me up that like a college age M. Night was just in his room on Snick on the nights of Snick watching Are You Afraid of the Dark, and like
It doesn't surprise me, honestly. It's like
That's
you
a
weren't
good
out
show.
partying. Big shocker there. You seem like such
Yeah.
a cool guy.
Fucking nerd.
But I mean, it's a more of a the episode itself is more of a love story. It's fine. Like I said, I just
Well,
thought
it's just a rip on the whole like I picked up the girl and she left her sweater and back and she was actually dead. It's just, I mean, that's an old story to be on. So it's like it's not like it was a super original bit or anything.
I think it was how it was filmed. And another thing that reminded me of my research is so apparently the producers of the Sixth Sense and all that in their test screenings, they were really like, fuck, we messed up in this movie. because when Haley Joel Osment's doing his I See Dead People, the camera lingers so long on Bruce Willis.
People are gonna know. Yeah.
They were like, people know, and then they're like, it literally didn't come up once, and it was in our questions of the test screening. So we just left, like, we didn't edit it.
Is that the most spoofed line of all time?
Yeah, I think this movie
It's
has a
up
hard
there.
place in pop culture. Because
Between this and like Matrix, like the jump kick from Matrix, that was a big one.
Here's Johnny.
Yeah, here's Johnny. It's a big
Here's
one.
oh yeah, here's.
But this is a movie where, like, I feel like for a while, it's. I think after the point, I'm really glad we revisit it because it is just that good of a movie. But for a long time, it suffers from being, you know, M. Night Shyamalan's first, or not first thing, was his like third thing, really. But
his first like big project that was all him. Yeah,
it was all him.
What? Hey, a question. Quick question.
And then all things sucked after that, right? And it's like, oh, you know. And I heard this today, so it's a repeat of someone said, is they don't think he was a guy who should have been making horror movies and twists. He should have just been, you know, he kind of got put like George Lucas in a sense of, this is what I got to do, in the sense of he might have just been a good filmmaker if he never had this hit.
I always thought that he was a stronger director and that he should have turned over the writing to someone else. Like after, you know, I was all on board. I love Sixth Sense. I love Unbreakable. I actually think Signs is really good, but I know Signs is like one of what's like for some people was his first kind of stumble, and then I kind of fell off after The Village, and then it kind of kept going downhill. But I always thought visually and like as far as his skill goes as a filmmaker, it was still there. If he could have just, but like he had kind of bought into his own hype as a writer, and he needed to let that part of it go for a while. And
the Village visually edit in terms of editing, sound design.
I think The Village is good.
Goddamn beautiful.
I love it.
I remember watching The Village in the theater, thinking to myself, and like I think I said to Sarah at the time, I was like, I thought of what the most obvious silly twist would be, and then that's what it ended up being, and it kind of soiled me on the whole thing. But I feel like I could go back and watch it and just appreciate the filmmaking aspect of it again.
It's a better movie than of the time, but. And that's a problem. All of his movies, you're looking for the twist after The Sixth Sense when they don't.
Exactly.
Yeah,
he kind fucking twist just to a movie.
Victim of his own hype.
Yeah. So
Let's
anyway,
go into the ratings, phase.
Ratings phase. I did want to say one more thing. The actual best use of this trope from this movie is the Brendan Fraser episode of Scrubs.
Yes. Ryan, what did you give this movie?
That's a good one.
You know what? Looking back and trying to be objective and like taking out all that you have known about M. Night since then, and you know, damn near 20 years of experience past, I would give this like a solid, maybe like an 8. I think this is a pretty fucking good movie. Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna lie. You got Bruce Willis trying. You've got Toni Collette being as good of an actor as you know she can be, while still under control. Haley Joel, like I said, maybe given the best kid performance I've ever seen. As far as a major debut, not a guy who's never worked before, but this is like his first big project. Great work from M. Night. It looks really good. It's a good looking movie. It holds up to scrutiny if you're like going back and picking at the twist. I think it holds up pretty well. No movie's gonna hold up perfectly. Like I remember the thing about people always said about like, oh, and his clothes never change. He just has that overcoat and he takes it off. Sometimes he has the jacket and sometimes he has a shirt. It's like, no, motherfucker. Sometimes he has a sweatshirt on. Sometimes he's wearing a sweatshirt at the hospital and stuff. Yeah. So there's no real way to get around that. It's not perfect, but it's a very, very good movie.
How about you, TJ?
I'm going to go a clean 8. I'm going to go with Brian. 8 cupboards open. Again, Toni Collette plays probably the most perfect South Jersey Philly mom that I've seen on film in a while since, what was that stupid movie with De Niro and Silver Linings Playbook? She's whoever that was is pretty good also. I don't know. This movie, the one thing about like horror movies, I can do slashers. Like the one thing that scares me is ghosts, like real apparitions. And this movie fucking hits it every time. So I'm gonna have a little bit of trouble sleeping tonight. Thanks, Joe. But this movie just fucking hits for me. It's a top M. Night movies for me. So yeah, clean 8.
All right. I'm gonna go with a. I'm really glad I revisited this. I think maybe I've watched it once since I saw it as a kid. Since then, so it's been a long time. And everything you guys have just said. I really like it as a drama more than a horror movie. I'm a little higher than you guys in this. I'm gonna go in an 8.7. It really, and then especially after use of reading what was nominated for Best Picture that year, I'm going no. Not just because we just watched them. This is legitimately.
Yeah, I also expected some better things to be up.
And I could divorce. I mean, like it's like there's things in it. The red motifs, very like all right, tone it down a little bit. But
right,
other
you didn't
than
know
that,
he was going to go crazy and Unbreakable with the green and purple thing, and that was going to become the whole deal.
So, but other than that, I mean, it's just
he was like, "Oh, you like that?"
Strong movie, and I know it's like cliche of what people talked like last year. Like, there's a lot of things because it was 20 years. Got a lot of good Get Out comparisons with Jordan Peele, just the way that they made the movies and this and that. And I see it there. They're there, but. And that's why I say all the time, I hope Jordan Peele doesn't get pigeonholed the way M. Night got pigeonholed.
Yeah, I think it's one of those touchstones. Like we talk about it getting parodied a lot, but much like Here's Johnny and The Shining, it holds up. I think it's not. You can go back and watch it, and still, it's like no, that's cultural touchstone for a reason.
I know we're gonna keep talking. Yusuf has to give his rating, but. What did Harrison think of this since you watched it with him? I was wondering.
I think it started off a little slow for him. Like he was like, "Oh, I'm a little tired." I was like, "Well, hang out, have a brownie, just let it kind of kick in." And then he got into it. And he was saying he really liked it when he talked about it again.
You gave him a brownie and you waited to kick in. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, baby.
What is your rating? I really gotta.
7.5. Bruce Willis spray her tan cans.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Solid writing, very well edited in a way that plays with your perspective. Even if you know the twist, you're like, okay, that's plausible if you're watching it again.
Oh, yeah.
Haley Joel fucking carrying that movie on his tiny little back.
He's really little. He's littler than I remember in this too.
Very fucking
younger and also physically very tiny.
Little Forrest Gump.
You're
Dorothy Harris.
Yeah, solid fucking movie. So, thank you, Joe, for your pick. Thank you for sharing. Next episode, guys. Don't know if you saw the previous episode.
Halloween.
It's our Halloween episode. I made the guys pick different horror franchises. We got Brian with the Final Destination franchise. We have TJ with the Underworld franchise. We have Joe with the Hatchet franchise. And I'm going to watch Lake Placid because I'm a fucking asshole.
I can't believe, what are there, 6 of those you said? That's insane.
There's so many. I don't know why I picked them. So...
Where can the people find you guys?
Where can the people find you?
I gotta pick so bad. You can find me Chindango1 on Twitter. Where can they find you, TJ?
You guys can find me at TJ Dex. You're also on Flyover on YouTube right now. Check out the latest episodes we have. The most recent one, the one is dropping right now, so check that out and get ready for the costumes.
Yeah.
Brian.
Guys, I know we're almost done here, but I'd like to dive back into the Sixth Sense a little bit. Joe is literally Haley Joel holding his little tidy whitey standing in the doorway right now. You can find me on Twitter at Hercules. Yusef, take us out, man.
WhyILoveMovies.com. Bye.
Bye.